organizations have shifted their focus, right? Before it was like, let's get a bunch of VC funding. And I remember sitting in board meetings, it's like spend, 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 like grow at all costs was literally like championed. And now it is like, oh, hell no, that is not the strategy forward. And there is a strong emphasis on efficiency, cost reduction. And when you look at, marketing spend, it's a high investment for a low return relative to driving revenue growth from your customer base. Like revenue growth from your customer base is the most cost effective way to drive revenue growth for your business. And it's also a really interesting shift right now. Kevin Chu, our COO, posted LinkedIn post yesterday around some recent VC data that he received around SDR pipeline creation, which has gone from 40% to 18%, which when you think of the implications to a business of that pipeline not being generated, I mean, financial plans for the year have been on the basis of that plan coming to fruition, which is then converting to close won revenue. And so when that dries up or does not perform to the degree that it was previously, you start to see significant risk to just the livelihood of these businesses, which is why you're seeing the layoffs and the rifts. So the answer is sitting in our customer base, getting customers to value and helping to drive that revenue growth. So I think that's really, like, to Allie's point, like if customers or if companies didn't see value in CS before, like they sure as hell do now. And at Catalyst, it's been very interesting for us working primarily with customer success organizations today. When these layoffs have unfortunately impacted a good chunk of our customers, the CS teams have not been impacted anywhere near the degree that you would have seen in years past. Like they have kept their CS organizations because they understand the revenue impact that they are driving and because of the shift in strategy. So I think that insight is really, really interesting. The other piece that I love the idea of like leading and lagging indicators. One of the kind of comp strategies that we had at a previous company of mine had the leading indicator component to it. And we had done some like basic research to show that if a certain number of seats had been adopted within 60 days of a customer signing with Envision, that was the company, like there was a 98% likelihood that that customer was retaining. So it just drove a very intentional emphasis for the implementation team and where we were focused on what are the outcomes that we need a customer to attain in those first 60 days in order to increase the lagging indicator of gross retention and growth. So I think like putting in the time to do that analysis is really, really important. At Catalyst, we call it moments of impact. And it's like, what are those moments of impact tied to why a customer has bought that we can prescribe solutions to and drive the usage and activation of to ultimately get customers to that value that's in turn going to translate to their desire to retain and also to expand their investment in us as partners. So some great just insights from Allie and Jeff and doubling down on those being exactly what I've seen to be super valuable and high impact from a revenue perspective.